Listen, right, last week when I did Do We Need 'Em, do you know when I called up one of the museums in a science museum?
Yeah, are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm just saying, I wanted to tell you before when the song was on, but you're so busy listening to it.
Yeah, was I so busy listening to a song I was playing?
Yeah, but we're doing a radio show, aren't
Alright, what's your point?
Well, I just wanted to say, she emailed in to say I got her name wrong, so I'm just apologising for that.
What did you just call her?
I think I called her Jessica.
What was her name?
I don't know, I've got it on email somewhere.
Well, this is not an apology!
No, I'm
You've
just
got
saying,
it wrong again!
You've not even said her real name! How is that an apology?
well, I remember, I read the email, so, yeah,
But who are you apologising to?
I think her name's Jackie, I think.
Oh, you've got it wrong again, haven't you?
Well, anyway, and she just said if you want to see dinosaurs and that, go to the museum.
You were complaining about that as well, weren't you? You went to a museum and there was too many dinosaurs. He said you just need 4.
No, well, Steve, have you been to the one in Knightsbridge?
I think
this
so.
one that I called up, right? It's nice. You go in, you get a good collection of stuff. You walk in, there's 3 or 4 dinosaurs. You've had enough, right? I went into New York, right? Went to the museum there, hundreds of them. You can't move for dinosaurs.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're responsible for them being extinct. There's loads of them. So all I'm saying is, if you want to see a dinosaur, go to the one near Knightsbridge. They've got a nice selection, some old vases and stuff. It's worth going. So,
Do you work for them? Because that was a pretty big sell.
well, I just thought I'd
That
mention
you
it.
could work that into quite an advert, I imagine. Brilliant.
What I'm saying is, though, the body's always changing, innit? From caveman to now, or whatever.
In some cases.
And they're always finding out more and more. Like, I read the other day about how they're saying, do you know, like they say, people have 6 senses?
Yeah.
There's loads more than that. Right, and there's this one...
I say, show me that you've got one.
No, right, and there's this one that's knocking about.
Go on.
That, what it is, say if I'm in a pub, right, and I'm just doing a crossword or whatever,
Unlikely, but go on.
and there's some woman who's walked in, right, and she's staring at me.
Yeah.
I know she's looking at me, and I look up and I look round, she's looking at me.
Right.
And they're saying that's a new sense that they found out from, like, you know, doing tests and what have you.
Yeah, it's rubbish.
And they're saying
okay.
that's been around since like man and dinosaur was knocking about.
But it could be, you know, peripheral vision. It could be a footstep stopped, and usually when someone's footsteps stop, they've stopped.
No, they've
'cause
explained
I think it's safe to assume that, you know, that with your perfectly round head, people are always stopping and
No,
looking.
but they explained
You
it.
just know that there's probably going to be someone there if you look right.
They said it's from the time when, like, caveman was, like, wandering about, and he'd go, hang on a minute, and he'd look round, there's a dinosaur there, or whatever, and he'd leg it.
This is nonsense. One,
not-
I hate it when people use the term when caveman was wandering round. Caveman and dinosaurs, oh, they used to live together, yeah. Oh, that's the same era. Yeah. What have you been watching? Raquel Welch?
What do you mean?
Well, what do you mean caveman wandering, knocking around with a dinosaur?
You know the Flintstones is only partly based on fact. Dinosaurs and man did not coexist. The dinosaurs had long gone before man arrived. Extinct. Kaput. You don't believe us?
What, you don't believe because you've seen...
Because you saw that film where they took pictures of lizards and magnified them and put them next to men in films so they looked like they were fighting.
Yeah.
No, but why couldn't that have happened?
What is the film with Raquel Welch? A Million Years
10
BC.
A Million Years BC or
A
something.
Million Years BC. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but
She had a sort of woolly mammoth bikini. Fact.
why wasn't the dinosaurs back then just like how we have dogs now, in a way?
He's watching the Flintstones.
He's watching the Flintstones.
He's thinking of the Flintstones.
Yeah.
That's what he's
when
thinking.
he puts out the saber-toothed tiger,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
Dido
And he
gets
mixes
in.
his concrete in a pelican.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think that there must have been a crossover point.
Why? Why did you say that? Why do you think there must have been
There
a
must
crossover
have
point?
been.
Because if nothing was knocking about at any point, how did anything carry on?
I know. Exactly. Why didn't Hitler meet Nero? It's weird, isn't it? There must have been a crossover. They must have met somewhere. They must have met at a party somewhere.
They mixed in similar circles.
Yeah. Well, I mean, are you telling me that Ken Dodd has never met Genghis Khan? They must have bumped into... I can't believe it.
Forget it.
Now, what do you make of David Blunkett accusing gangster rappers of making kids believe guns are cool? It's a hot topic there, Carl, and I imagine you've got some strong opinions.
He's saying what?
He is saying basically that all this rap music is advocating gun use and violence against people, and he's very worried about it.
Nah.
Okay. All right. What's the next one?
Have you thought about going into politics? Because I'll tell you this, they wouldn't be able to argue with you, really, in the Houses of Parliament. Where would they start?
Yeah. My fellow is an idiot.
No, but violence has always been about, and like cowboys and Indians, they didn't have PlayStations and Tupac then, and there was still violence.
What do you mean? In the Wild West?
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So you can't really blame it on stuff. It'll always happen. That's the world, and it's made up of different types and that.
Again, he's right. Again, he's sort of right in a way, in his innocence, in his buffoonery.
I didn't hear what he said.
He just said there's always been violence. You know what I mean? It's sort
Even,
of like,
dinosaurs, look at them. They caused a lot of
and then he
trouble.
went too far and made himself sound
No,
like a
but,
fool again.
but I'm just saying, it's always happened, it always will.
Yeah.
Don't try and change it.
Yeah. Just chill out is what you're saying.
Do you know what we should do? We should all get on our bike, go and find ourselves when we're little, and go. Be careful what you do in life.
But while I was at my parents' house, they often, they keep clippings of things. If we've been mentioned in the papers, they like to keep a record of them and stuff because I like to show it to my grandparents, and keep fully abreast of things. And I managed to find a couple of them. This was what I don't know if you've heard this, Carl. It's, for people who don't realise, Carl was making a couple of little 3-minute TV projects recently that were on Channel 4. And in the Sunday Times, someone's written a letter about Carl to the Sunday Times.
Wow.
They can send in comments and views on things they've seen, read, heard.
Oh, excellent.
And this is what someone wrote to the Sunday Times.
Oh.
Who is Karl Pilkington? And why have I just wasted 5 minutes of my life listening to some of his cretinous thoughts on Channel 4? He asked, why are there so many dinosaurs on display in museums? Quotes, couldn't they just choose the best one and just show that? He summed it all up by deciding that we know too much. Somebody clearly doesn't know enough to know that this is a complete waste of airtime, showing no wit, intellect or creativity. That's from Wendy Robinson in Berkshire.
You can't have your critics. You know what I mean?
You've got to have your critics.
Of course you have. If everybody liked what you did, then you're not doing the right thing.
She wasted 5 minutes, and they were 3-minute wonders, so it must have felt
Yeah.
2/3 as long again.
But think how angry she must have been to have bothered writing this letter to the Sunday Times.
Well, that's good.
I mean,
though.
you
It's made her
really
do
must
something.
have...
It's all about getting people thinking. That's what I always say to you. As long as I'm getting people thinking about what I've said, she remembered what I said.
But what views did you put out in these short films which you feel people perhaps should be talking about, discussing, digesting, thinking about?
Just stuff that was in my head that day when I was filming them.
Yeah.
Is it in your head now?
Some of it is. Now you've remembered me what I said.
Now you've what?
Now you've sort of told me what I said in that one. Yeah, I remember saying that.
Yeah.
And I stick by it.
Remember him some other stuff?
Yeah.
I'll tell you now, right? This, if I don't know if Wendy's, listened to this, but
Almost certainly not.
But listen, right? I was saying about the museums, right, and how they're big and everything, and they've
Brilliant.
got dinosaurs all over the shop. I read that in that museum, they've got something like 7 million bits of stuff in there, right? Now, when I spend 2 hours in somewhere, just show me the good stuff. Don't be saying we've got 7 million bits. Because there was a fella who opened it, right? I did a bit of research on the museum. Fella who opened the museum up.
And what was his name?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Doesn't matter, does it?
What museum was it?
It was the London one.
Oh, the London one, yeah. Okay.
So he's in there and he's collecting all this, bits of stuff.
What stuff?
Just whatever's knocking about at that
Oh,
time.
right, okay.
It seemed like
You have researched it.
he never chucked anything away. He's like, I won't put it in the bin, pop it on a shelf.
Okay,
right? So
yeah.
he's put everything on a shelf in
right,
this
yeah.
museum. Then as time
I
went
think you're
on,
going into too much detail, but just give us the gist of it.
No, but all I'm saying is, he keeps everything, and if you keep everything, sometimes it'll be good stuff, right? And a lot of the stuff was going missing, the good stuff. But people who set these museums up are just as crafty.
What?
The fella who found Tutankhamun, he was pocketing all sorts of fingers and stuff in his pockets on the way out. That had rings on them and stuff. So all I'm saying is, why is she having a go?
But
She's
hang on,
learned
wait,
something.
what's that got to do with someone pocket? I don't understand your point.
Because she's sort of moaning at me, going, "Don't have a go at the museum and the dinosaurs." But
No, she
everybody...
was
she's
just saying
having a
that
go
you're
at
an
your
idiot.
fatuous
You're-
point.
Yeah, you're absolutely uneducated,
But,
stupid
I mean,
point that you got TV time to talk absolute shit. If I could
That's not
paraphrase
my fault,
Wendy.
Is it? That's not my fault. If someone says they want me to do a little programme and you can do what I want, I went and did what I did. Free speech, innit?
But we just gave you the chance then to defend yourself, and you just confirmed Wendy's point 1,000 times over. What was all this waffle about people nicking stuff? What's that got to do with anything?
Because she's having a go at me. I didn't nick
But she's
anything.
having a go at you for talking nonsense that's of no consequence, which is what you just did
What
then.
sort of nonsense?
But what was your point?
Oh, all right, then we'll watch Wendy's little programme when that goes out. Let's see what she's got to talk about. Sick of her.
Tired today because didn't get to sleep as early as I wanted due to a moth getting in the bedroom.
Fuck me.
I got it in a glass and looked at it for a bit and then let it go because Suzanne wanted to go to sleep. Looked up some interesting news. Some people dug up an old body in Ireland. Turns out it's well old and was here when dinosaurs were here. The really weird bit is it had hair gel in its hair.
Right, what is it?
Fella.
Well, no, it wasn't around when dinosaurs were here then.
Just a bit after.
Right, fine. A lot after, yeah, go on. I think any hominid, anything that could even be linked to anything that may become man, is only about 1 million years old. And I think Homo sapien is probably only about 150,000 years old. Dinosaurs are about 150 million to 250 million.
Yeah, no, it's not the age bit. That's amazing. It's the fact of there's a fella, won't have even had shoes on his feet,
Right.
and yet he was worried about his hairstyle.
Right, well, that's definitely not true either. This is unbelievable.
I tell you what, though, my mum was loving it. Do you know Rockbusters?
I love. Do I know Rockbusters? I love Rockbusters. I think I dream of it.
She was taking part. I mean, she doesn't know a lot of the new bands and that, but she made some up for some older bands and that.
Oh, she did some herself.
She made some herself, sent them in the post.
So are you going to use those today?
She's not quite got the hang of it. So,
Unlike her genius son.
Have you got them there? Can we hear what they are?
you keep talking a second then.
I'm quite excited. I mean, if they're even approaching, say, the genius of Wet Knee Houston.
Yeah.
And, there was another one which was something to do with a trench, Carl. What was that?
Oh, that was Dandy Warhol's. That was a good one.
Dandy Warhol.
I think that was his finest moment. Yeah.
Incidentally, I've had an email here from someone called Sauda, if that's a he or a she, but let's assume it's a she, just for glam's sake.
Yeah.
She said she saw an old man eating a Twix last week, Carl, so that blows your theory out the
I'm
water.
not having it.
Okay. So if you are a bloke, he's calling you a liar, so maybe you want a little rumble later?
In fact, if you are a bloke, he's calling you a girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah, then. These are ones that my mum's made up.
Brilliant.
Right, just in case you're a new listener, I'll give some initials out and a cryptic clue. And it makes up a band, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Or a solo artist.
Yeah, not so much cryptic as what you're thinking. Yeah, go on.
This group sound like dinosaurs.
You sound like dinosaurs.
T-Rex.
T-Rex.
Yeah, I see what you mean. They're not so much cryptic, are they?
This group...
Leave her alone, they're good.
Carl, any other thoughts?
Well, I'm not going to tell you any more educating stuff yet.
You're going to tease me with that, are you?
Leave you with, it Nelly died.
Yeah.
And get a load of this court case, right? But I want you thinking about...
Yeah, thinking about it, yeah, just getting my red juices ready.
Think about that.
Yeah, like an aperitif, yeah, sure.
But, I've just educated you,
Yeah.
right? And I watched The Office Christmas stuff on, last Sunday.
Do you like to enjoy it?
I think it was good.
Good.
I think it was good.
Thank you
It was
very
up there with one of my favourites. The second one's good.
Yeah, okay, your second one, more the paybacks in the second one, the first one's more set up.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'd have thought people would like the second one more.
Yeah.
So that's nice. That's a nice critique. Thank you, Carl.
But there was something in it you did about cavemen.
Cavemen?
You said something about, it was a fact about cavemen, and you sort of only half did it. You didn't give the full information, like...
What?
Kind of doing that. You just...
Where was it? What bit was it?
It was the bit when you were talking about getting a woman, I think, or you were talking about breasts or...
Oh, the one when I said the reason women have cleavage is it reminds men of buttocks, because when we were cavemen we used to do you from behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the blind date, yeah.
Is that a joke, or...?
Well, I was hoping it was funny. We would... Oh, you mean... no, I don't know. Yeah, I think I did... I think cleavage is meant to represent... In a sort of Desmond Morris pop sort of anthropology type way, I think I've seen that before, that
cleavage represents buttocks, and I imagine, you know, cavemen probably did do it from behind. I don't know what you want to know, Carl, really. It's in a sitcom, it wasn't a documentary.
It looked like one.
Yeah. Brilliantly directed to look like one, I'll give you that.
No, but what you're saying, so blokes like...
Yeah, I think cleavage is represented like buttocks, because obviously buttocks were much more of a sexual organ, evolutionarily speaking. Breasts were to actually bring up to suckle young, but and were a sign of sexual maturity, so you're ready to mate. But whereas Carl, I'm not an anthropologist, mate. I'm struggling here. What do you need to know?
But
yeah, I imagine that the cleavage reminds you of an arse.
Right. Well, if it's all about arse, why don't gays like a little bit of tit? No, do you know what I mean?
You've done me! So the question put to us today on XFM 104.9, please call me Dodos, is, if it's all about arse, then why don't gays like a little bit of tit?
I was worried
if it's all about arse, why don't gays like tit? If it's all about arse, why don't gays like tits? Just call in with your... Thanks very much for tuning in. This is in Children's TV. If it's all about arse, why don't gays like tit?
It's still been an hour and a quarter before we got round to gays, so it's good to see they made an appearance.
If it's all about arse, why don't gays like a bit of tit? Is the question. What a brilliant question. Well, if you're an anthropologist or a psychologist, a doctor, a gay, please call in. If it's all about arse, this is the question.
I'm not convinced by this whole, cleavage looks like an arse, that's
no, not Steve, nor am I. It's a bit of mock anthropology. I didn't think it would be under scrutiny.
I think it's more likely that the reason men find cleavage attractive is because they know there's a lovely pair of Bristols down there.
Yeah, so look at cleavage, they go,
here we are.
if that's what's on show...
Exactly, imagine what's down below.
If that's in the front window, right, what's she got to go into the shop?
Carl, what would you change if you were in charge of what kids are taught in school? Right, you know, because I mean, your school experience was a bit iffy. You got very bored, didn't you? You got very disillusioned by school.
Yeah. What I'd do, right, is instead of sort of teaching kids about 2 and 2 and that, she's 4, right?
Well done. Show off.
I think they should be asked more questions that make them think rather than something that has just got an answer.
I totally agree.
Right. So,
so teaching them the quest for knowledge, inflaming their imagination.
But just freaking them out a bit as well. Just going like...
See, I knew that's where it was going. Because as soon as you started talking, Rick, I was thinking you're thinking some of the big existential or philosophical questions. You know, what does it mean to be human? What does it mean to interact with other humans? To be a humanist?
Or teaching them sort of like philosophy on a basic level, that, you know, teaching them the love for learning. So, you know, get them back to a roots level so they want to learn and then they will learn, as opposed to just teaching them facts.
Whereas...
He was thinking, freak them out a bit.
Yeah.
No, just like, you know, like I read the other day, and someone sent it in on email, like how there's a dishwasher that's been found on Mars.
Rubbish.
Whoa, what?
But it's not true.
So tell them that.
But it's not true.
Go home and write about it. How did that happen?
But it didn't happen.
Well, it did happen. It was in a science magazine.
No, it didn't happen. There's not a dishwasher on Mars.
Why not?
Because...
What do you mean, why not?
How did it get there?
But we're always sending, like, rubbish out there and that. It's like...
Not dishwashers. What, you think the council take it away and they go, where can we put it? Well, the tip's full. Well, where's the nearest thing we can dump this? Mars, I imagine.
No, but the same way that fella who, I don't know, was it 2 Christmases ago, when he was messing about saying I can get stuff to Mars and all that, he did it wrong, because he did it on, like, Boxing Day, and I just think nobody's concentrating. No one wants to work on that day. It's kind of like, do you know what I mean? They're going to do stuff sort of half-arsed, aren't they, on Boxing Day? So... it didn't really get there, I don't think, but it crash-landed.
What are you talking about? What was he trying to do?
He was sending something up to Mars.
Yeah, that little fella that wanted to get something on Mars, and it got...
probe, you mean?
And it didn't open properly.
Yeah.
It got there, didn't open
But the thing is, it got there, it didn't open properly. No one's been back to pick it up. And what I'm saying is, we're saying about going to Mars as our next planet. It's a tip. There's loads of stuff that's been flirted up there.
No, it's not.
What are you talking about?
It's just all, like, that probe thing is still there. Rotting away.
Yeah. So... ipso facto, there is a dishwasher on Mars. We've settled that. Why would they have a dishwasher on Mars? Would they take the dishwasher up in the space shuttle in case they had dinner parties? What are you talking about?
I just think they would have a little dishwasher in there. There's a lot of them. Tight space. You don't want who's going to do that? You know, that means...
Do you know how much fuel it takes to move a kilogram?
Yeah.
Out of the Earth's atmosphere. So they're going to take up a dishwasher, are they?
Sorry, but what are they cooking up there, Carl?
How many people does it take to fly a rocket?
I
How many people? Tell me how many people.
Well, it's either one monkey with a banana shoot that feeds it, or probably 2 or 3 humans.
Right, say it's 3 humans.
Yeah.
Now there's 3 humans because they need one to steer it, one to like be going, yeah, we're all right.
Yeah,
Another
One to make some hors d'oeuvres.
one
Another
to stop at the petrol station to
but
get more.
What I'm saying is, if you're going to start having a sink, then whoever's
They
washing
haven't got a
up,
sink.
I know because they've got a dishwasher.
He's got you there.
But anyway, I'm not going to go into that. But all I'm saying is, teach kids things about. Say to them, right, when you go home tonight, there was dinosaurs knocking about ages ago. How would you have lived with them? Get on with it. See you later.
Well, they didn't. I've told you this before. You got a lot of your information from the Flintstones and 1 million years BC with Raquel Welch. There weren't dinosaurs knocking around where there were little fellas knocking around in furry pants.
No, but just sort of saying to them, all right, then, here's a different question.
Go on then.
Would it be better to have dinosaurs knocking about now whilst we're here? Because I put that in my diary the other day. That when you think about it, there's a population problem.
Yeah.
There's too many of us.
Yeah.
We're saving people all the time. No one's allowed to get injured anymore. You've got to, wear a helmet when you're on a bike. There's speed bumps to slow people down. Zebra crossing. Cures for illnesses. No one's dying anymore, right?
Well, I think they are.
Not as many as they should be because the world's crowded. All I'm saying is
I think there's still people dying. I think there's still people dying.
not that many though.
Yeah, I think there's still millions of people dying.
Apparently, a handful.
Loads of people are living longer, and that's a problem. So
So
what
you
I'm saying
feel that
is,
you should introduce Tyrannosaurus Rex into,
wandering
say,
about, wandering
London,
about.
just have them wandering around, just picking people off.
That's what just sort of random and that, because I don't know. I mean, I'm not wishing that anyone I know dies and that, but all I'm saying is I don't know anyone who's died for ages.
Right.
Whereas if a dinosaur was knocking about, you'd go,
yeah.
Neil's gone missing.
Yeah.
And
And
you go,
Nora's
that's-
had her head bitten off by a...
Whatever. I just
Yeah.
think then it is survival of the fittest, which is we've lost all that now. You don't even have to be fit to survive. They just keep sticking a new lung on you. Or do you know what I mean? They can do too much now to keep people going.
just keep sticking a new lung on you. Why?
Well, I think it's pretty crowded now, so it's just as well. You see, this is what I'm saying now. Years ago, they accepted that. Cavemen wouldn't have been going, oh, we're losing stuff's dying. Whereas now, everyone's, oh, the panda, polar bears, not got any ice, and all that. At the end of the day, the world's only so big, we know it's not getting any bigger. Right? Stuff's got to die, hasn't it? You can't keep everything.
Just think of that, though, as a tool of natural selection, that the species that are surviving today are 1%. Just how amazing that is to survive and evolve. How perfect everything is on Earth. It's amazing.
No, but it'll drop off again, won't it? As we find in new stuff, other stuff will be dying.
Well,
in
things
that
that happen.
1%, when that was written, when that statement was made, was the dodo gone or was it still here?
It was.
I'm pretty sure
it was
the
gone.
dodo was gone.
It was gone already.
It doesn't matter, though, does it? A percentage is a percentage.
Yeah, the dodo went. The last dodo died. They said
Yeah.
that was the last dodo. No
Yeah.
more dodos. But we found this.
Dido. Still making great
Great
tunes.
albums, great albums.
Great,
Although
yeah. We lost the dodo, but we've got Dido.
a recent album's not sold very well, actually.
It's, I've heard it's
Dying out. Dying
it's-
out. Everything has a lifespan.
Dido's dying out.
But and I think that's life. So it's not amazing, really.
That's
that
not on
this-
either anymore.
No, that's not over. That's life's gone.
That's gone.
That was good.
What else?
Esther Ranson forced to just hang out in the jungle now.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
When I went to Natural History Museum, there was a thing called a Scyther or something. Right, died out ages ago. No one knows about them, which is weird because everyone knows about the dodo.
Well,
Yeah.
that's because it died out in, I think, was it the 18th century or something, wasn't it?
Well, within what might term recent history.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this thing's sort of. I don't think it was far behind it. It's just timing, isn't it? That got more press, the dodo. The Scyther or whatever it's called. It was a big thing. It was
Well,
a cross.
you've seen it and you still don't know what it's called.
Well, it's spelled awkwardly. But it's but they said it was a cross between a moose and a giraffe. Now we don't need that, do we? At no point have we said, do you know what we need here to get us through this?
Well, that's funny because when they first named the giraffe, they called it the camelopard because they thought it was a cross between a camel and a leopard.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that when zoologists examined a platypus for the first time, some of them thought it might have been a hoax, because they thought it could have been different parts of different animals sewn together. Because the platypus has the fur of an otter, the tail of a beaver, the bill and feet of a duck, and the venomous spurs of a fighting gamecock. So they assumed that
it's like a scrap heap challenge of animals.
Yeah, I remember, right?
But they actually...
Sorry, go on.
Well, just to clarify that, it actually is descended from a link between reptiles and mammals almost 150 million years ago, a sort of living fossil.
When I was about 13, 14, I once tried to improve the animal kingdom by making the hardest animal ever, the most perfect animal.
Now, just to clarify, you didn't, in sort of Frankenstein style,
No.
try and bolt various bits of animals together.
It was a drawing that I sent to Blue Peter. There was no competition going on.
You just thought they would be appreciated.
I thought they'd look at that and they'd go, well, he's a genius.
Yeah.
This is like Da Vinci.
Sure.
And this is the animal. This is what I thought, the perfect animal. I mean, when I say perfect, I meant the hardest animal. This animal, it could take anything. It was just the strongest, hardest, fastest. Right.
Yeah.
So, I started with the head of a lion.
Of course, that makes
Do you know what I mean?
perfect sense.
It looks good. Bite you, right? Okay. I popped that on the body of a rhinoceros.
Okay, so it's got the toughness, the armour, if you like.
It's full strength. Head of a lion. Think of that. So you've got this picture. Head of a lion, body of a rhino.
Perfect.
Okay? Hold on, though. Pop some arms on it. The front arms were the arms of a gorilla.
The arms of a gorilla.
So it
okay.
could punch, grip, it could make stuff. The lion, I mean, that's where the lion falls down, because it can't make stuff.
Sure.
It can't climb, you know. So, okay then, wait a minute. You think that's got enough weaponry?
Sounds like it.
No. Pop on the tail of a giant scorpion.
A giant scorpion?
Yeah, yeah.
So a scorpion that's the size of a rhinoceros.
Exactly, so the tail was as long as that rhino. So now this is a scary animal.
Yeah.
And this is where the animal fell down. I thought, right, legs. Well, the fastest animal is the cheetah.
Cheetah.
Popped on 4 cheetah legs.
4 cheetah legs.
It would have collapsed.
Crushed under
It
the
would have
weight of the
collapsed
rhinoceros.
immediately. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you drew this, did you?
Drew it, yeah.
Did you show it to anyone
Yeah,
else?
my mates went, that's brilliant.
Right.
They said, that's brilliant.
And then just sent straight to Blue Peter.
Yeah.
Any reply?
No reply at all.
Really?
No reply at all.
Surprised.
What do you think of that, Carl? What would you? How would you though? What would if you wanted to make the ultimate fighting animal? What would you come up with? If you had the power, like that fella in Arabian Nights, size of a chimpanzee, you could change into anything, but you could change into, you know, like that.
I don't think I'd go for strength and that. I'd go for survival.
What would you do? Cockroach.
No, I'd have like an armadillo's body.
Right. Okay. So that's as big as you can be now. Then. So you can't really pop on a lion's head because it'd just lay there going, I can't fucking move.
All right. I'd have head of an owl.
Right.
The head of an owl?
Yeah. Why? Come on. Why? What does that bring to the table?
The head's there to sort of make it look friendly to the
make it look
human
friendly.
race. So
Okay.
because if you look half decent to the human race, they'll look after you.
Right.
That's the way it works.
Yeah.
Isn't it? With a
Okay.
cat and a dog and all that. So the owl makes it look nice.
Right.
I'd have. I wouldn't have legs. I'd go for like the slug juice.
What do you mean? So now you're a really slow-moving, legless armadillo with the head of an owl.
Slithering along. How is that going to be friendly? They'll see the beautiful face, but then they'll be terrified by the sludge.
No, because the head's that nice that they'll forgo the sludge.
But hold on though. But wait a minute. So it's got this thing that's stuck, right, going at 0.1 miles an hour, with a going hoo, right. You come over, you kick the head off. How is this?
No,
a
because the
survival?
head can go into the thing like a tortoise.
Can it?
Yeah, of course it can. Into the armadillo body.
Well, no, an armadillo doesn't do that. It just curls up into a ball.
This isn't an armadillo, is it?
So it's.
Why has it got the sludge? Why is that
Because
so
what
attractive?
I'm thinking is an armadillo. They're good when they're on their feet. Flip them, they get stuck like a tortoise.
Right.
Slug stuff keeps it down. So if anything attacks it, it's like a limpet or one of them things that can.
Why
lock
have a
stuff.
limpet then?
But it can't get any. It can barely move. It can
Just
hardly get
go
anywhere.
and kick it.
Just can't get
Well, how
anywhere.
can it escape from danger? It's going to move
rubbish.
very slowly.
No, because
What, that's the worst
lock
animal.
itself in. It'll lock itself in.
Yeah, and then I just scoop it up on the
You
sand.
can't scoop it up. It locks itself in if it's in danger. I'd give it peacock feathers.
This is the worst animal
Why
I've
has it got
ever
peacock
heard.
feathers?
Again, it's just
It's the worst animal I've ever heard.
Why has it got peacock feathers?
threatening. It looks more threatening.
It
That's what
what?
peacock
That's the
feathers do.
least threatening thing. Peacock feathers. It's like Danny LaRue coming at you. There's
Yeah.
nothing remotely scary about peacock
Yeah,
feathers.
to humans,
Yeah.
but the humans won't be harming it because they like the owl head. People will like to have these things in the garden. They eat lettuce.
They eat lettuce. They eat Why has it got a beak? They eat lettuce. He's telling them what it's going to eat now. The owl's going, fuck that, I want a mouse. I love the fact that he's based what it eats on the fact that how it moves a bit like a slug.
Yes,
Let it eat lettuce. It moves that and let it eat lettuce.
Like I said, it's not that weird if that existed. If that was normal, like when you went out to empty your bin, there was one of them sliding up the wall. You wouldn't even double take. It'd just be like, oh, there's the owl head peacock feathered thing.
I don't know why it's climbing walls in an effort to find lettuce.
Yeah, why is it climbing up that wall?
Because that's the only way it can see properly. Because its head's coming out like that.
So even though you've designed this animal, now you're even expanding
got
its limitations.
problems.
Well,
No,
it's
got a
mainly
problem.
made as to be on walls. Because what else is living on walls?
Oh, God. Oh, fucking hell. What a useless animal that is. Carl, I mean.
But nature chucks up odd things, doesn't it?
Don't. Why are we starting on this again?
No, I'm just saying that is nature. Now and again, you'll get stuff that.
Oh, was he looking at you?
Yeah.
Was he really?
Look at his fucking head. Look at his stupid round fucking orangey head and... Oh.
Why aren't you a freak? You've got a little bald head. We're not meant to be bald.
Well, I was. I think that's the thing. That's what nature's done. You see, I didn't do anything with my hair when I had hair. I didn't style it. I didn't do anything with it, and it probably thought, "What am I doing here?" Whereas people who love their hair and they comb it and have different styles and look after it, they have hair for ages.
Nonsense.
No, nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
Well, you're saying that.
Absolute nonsense.
Well, it's a little bit weird, then, isn't it? And that's what happens with old people once they lose their, will to live. Once they lose the job, they get old. What's my purpose? What am I doing here? And it's like nature goes, you're not needed, and they die. Maybe that's what happened with the dodo. What's it doing? It can't fly. Its wings are useless. Eat it. Tastes horrible. Kill it.
No, they did eat
Nature.
it. I think they did eat it.
Yeah, but it wasn't very nice, was it?
I think they over-farmed it. I think that's why it was extinct. Because they did eat it.
No, but they did eat it, but they didn't like it. Everybody, you never saw like a fully eaten carcass of a dodo.
You're
It'd always
making
be
this up
half
again.
eaten.
All conjecture.
No, but they didn't eat it all. Everybody would probably try it and go, it's not for me, that.
But you don't know
No
this.
idea,
You
you're
don't
just
know
making
this.
it up.
What's this based on?
I've
The
just-
people... And also, why would that kid it out?
Because I'll tell you why. Because if it's not nice, people don't get another one in. And they die out. The reason we've got loads of chickens and loads of cows is because we eat them. If we ate polar bears, we wouldn't be short of them. Because you'd farm it, you'd take more care, but what's a polar bear doing? Sat on a block of ice floating about. It's no use to us, is it? It sounds harsh.
Once
but it's
again,
no
got
use.
his information from a Glacier Mint
No,
advert.
but it's no use to us. We know they're there, and it's all very sad when you see them on the news sort of struggling and all that.
Yeah.
But it's going to make them stronger.
If scientists could bring back to life the creatures that have existed in the past, do you think that's a good idea or a bad idea?
Bad idea.
Bad idea?
Yeah.
Now, leaving aside the horrors of Jurassic Park, do you think, for research purposes, it might be a useful idea?
I don't think it is. For me, it's like a Friends reunited. It's like people who you knew ages ago getting back in touch, and you go, I don't want to get in touch with you. That was then, and it's the same with a mammoth. That was then. You had your day. It didn't work out. Now to bring it back, it's unfair. You're messing with nature anyway. I think I've said to you before about I don't know what they do with them. They're massive things. I think it's like they're just not thinking about it. It's like rushing into buying furniture that's massive, and then you get it back and you go, can't get it through the door.
No,
And it'll be like that with a mammoth. Where are you putting them? Oh, I didn't think of that.
But what about if you could say you could feed the third world with mammoth meat?
But what's wrong with we've got loads of cows and stuff. Why do they need a mammoth? No one even knows what it tastes like. Imagine that. You bring it back and you've got another dodo on your hands. People go, this is this is horrible.
Well, they used to eat them because they, again, what humans found out is they could take down a mammoth, but they got greedy and they found out they could chase them, and so they'd go over an edge of a cliff, And what they did, they went crazy and they used to herd them and they'd all die, but of course then they'd waste the meat because they couldn't eat it all.
Yeah. Well, that's. I think that's why we shouldn't bring them back, because they are too big. So even if
Didn't hear a word of what you said then. Didn't hear a word.
No, I did. Everyone can eat them, but the problem is they're so big that you couldn't eat it quick enough, so it all went off.
Yeah, but I was saying that they killed too many at once.
Yeah, I know. No, I heard that. I heard that. But what I'm saying is, why not bring back an animal that's smaller, manageable for everyone?
Yeah.
That's why the chicken is perfect. Out of all the animals, perfect. Good size, feeds a family of 4. Whilst it's alive, it's giving you eggs.
I agree.
So it tastes nice.
But it doesn't if you think it's not having a good life. If suddenly said to me, I stopped eating it because I found out about how badly they were treated like 10 years ago, and I at least have organic. And honestly, eating an animal that's been tortured doesn't taste nice. Foie gras would make me vomit. The thought of it, the evil involved in torturing a goose because the liver tastes slightly better. I mean, where does it end?
I think if they're looked after, they don't want to die. The ones in a nice warm little, hut, being fed lovely food, you're going, right, we're going to cut your head off, and they're probably like, oh, God, I'm going to miss this. I'm loving this life. Whereas the one sat in its own shit's going, have me first, I'm sick of it. There's different ways of looking at it.
Good point. So what you're saying is, give animals a bad life, torture them, and they'll be happy when you eat them. Brilliant.
But we've ordered we've ordered a turkey.
Right.
It's way too big. So I don't know what we're going to do with it. And it's worrying me now, actually. It'll be nice on Christmas Day, but it's my job to look after the kitchen and everything, tidy up. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it all.
The fact that he's been given a job to make him worthwhile. Really, it's like a little home.
No, but a chicken. Your chicken.
Arthur, you're washing up today, aren't you? Yeah, Arthur's job.
And that's the problem with a mammoth. I think the idea of it's probably quite pleasant. You go, oh, that's something new to try out. But afterwards, when you've got to tidy it up and stick it in cling film, you'll be going, how much of this have we got? So I wouldn't bring back the mammoth.
Brilliant.
Charles Darwin, of course, once said, I cannot persuade myself that a beneficent and omnipotent God would have created parasitic wasps with the express intention of their feeding within the living bodies of caterpillars. His point being that, creatures and their reproductive cycles are so complicated, so intricate, so bizarre, that alone is proof of the non-existence of God. Where do you stand on that?
It's pretty weird. We talked about it ages ago, didn't we, about the wasp that has a thing growing in it and all that.
Lays its egg in a spider.
Yeah, and then the spider goes mad, doesn't it?
Because you fucking cunt laying your eggs in me, you fucking stripy wanker. Goes absolutely fucking mad.
It is weird.
What's going on my arse in a couple of you fucking...
I don't know how it found out that that's what it had to do. That's the amazing thing, isn't it?
Well, it didn't, did it?
It just did it.
No, I know, but when I say found out, I mean it just did it.
Well, it's like mimicry. When they say mimicry, that there's a poisonous snake, and then a snake comes along that looks a bit like it that's not poisonous, but people go, oh, careful, it's poisonous. That snake didn't go, I'm gonna strain, and I'm gonna try and look like Scary over there. Some were born that looked a bit like Scary, and they survived.
Yeah, I know.
It's just being chosen.
But that's changing now, isn't it? The fact that, like, when them frogs came out, that are dangerous, they were just dangerous.
What frogs came out? But
There's some frogs in a jungle somewhere that were, like, pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
New from Mattel, dangerous frogs in the jungle.
Yeah.
But people didn't know that they were dangerous. And they were going about killing loads of stuff. Anyway.
They weren't going... No, they don't go around killing loads of stuff.
Nature said, this is a bit unfair. Make them orange. So then, the frogs that were orange were dangerous, but you got a warning. It's a bit more fair. Nature said, if they're going to go about being dangerous, make them orange, make them stand out. In a jungle, orange stands out in all the green, right? So people went, there's an orange frog, stay away. Then, over time, nature went, right, what's happened here now? Everyone knows the orange frog's dangerous. Birds aren't eating it because they know it's dangerous. People are avoiding it. They don't even need the poison, it's just the orange it needs. So now you've got a load of frogs that are orange, not even deadly. But people go, is that a deadly orange one, or is it a friendly one? Well, best to leave it.
Again, it's explained my point, but took 30 times as long over.
But listen, let me finish what I was going to say. But what's interesting with all that is, evolution has taught stuff to lie. Because that orange frog isn't deadly. It's going about like it's the big I am.
Yeah.
You could squash it with your hand. You can't do anything. But evolution...
It's swaggering around.
It's made it lie. So lying is part of evolution.
But it's not lying, is it?
What do you mean?
Well...
It's got no
But the
poison.
interesting thing about, like a toad that secretes a poison is that often it's no good for it as an individual, but it's good for the species as a whole, because someone will come along and chew it. Now, that toad might well die, but that fox is sick, and it doesn't eat another one. So it's sort of saving the species.
Yeah, but at the same time, the dodo tasted rubbish. Everybody said,
You know,
don't eat one of them
don't know
again.
that. We don't know that.
Dodo.
We don't know that.
I have read it. I've read that they don't taste very nice. But it didn't
Why
stop
doesn't
it
it taste
dying
very
out.
nice?
It's
Why
just in the same way that chicken's nicer than duck. You can't all have nice tasting flesh. Pork's alright, but I prefer beef.
Point proven. Good night.
So what I'm saying is, with the dodo, it did taste horrible, but everyone wanted to give it a go. Meanwhile, it's different people trying it, so it died out in the end anyway. So your theory of a frog being poisonous and a fox going, yeah, that's horrible, I won't eat another one of them. Then you get another fox trying one, and another fox. They don't all have a word with each other, do they? They go, I had a rotten frog the other night. So it's pointless. It's a pointless exercise.
What I like is your image of nature. This idea that sort of, in your head, there's Mother Nature sat around like a boardroom table, making these decisions. People are coming in, oi, frog, what's been going on? Well, I've been poisoning people. Why? What about you? It's just... You just picture everything as one large
Your
reasoned...
confusion is that you still think of evolution has a will. You still believe that things are striving to be something else, as opposed to surviving if they adapt or change. I just want to go through some of the wonderful diversity of nature, some of the incredible feats of the animal kingdom, in a way. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Alligators and old people have something in common. They can hear notes only up to 4,000 vibrations a second.
I don't know what you're meant to do with that information. When's that ever come in handy? When a band's getting together, they don't go, no, we're after crocodiles and old people. What sort of tune do they like? It's pointless.
You're not impressed, okay. Scientists have applied electrodes to the pleasure centre in a rat's brain. The rat pressed a lever 48,000 times over a full day in order to receive that shock that seemed to him pleasurable, choosing the simulator instead of having water or food or sex. So it chose that virtual pleasure, well, not virtual pleasure, it gave it real pleasure, but an artificial stimulus rather than the real thing, like food or water
It
or
never
sex.
ate and had water. It never had a change.
No, it was addicted. It loved this electrode. It was giving it. It just made it feel good. It was getting as much pleasure from that as the real thing, from sex or food.
Yeah, but with any pleasure, you get sick of it, don't you? If you have too much of it.
Well, it had 48,000 hits in a day.
But I like having a Twix. But if I have more than 4 a week, I go, I've ruined that little pleasure I used to like.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, what did it do the second day?
No,
Did it go
but-
near the machine the second day?
No.
There you go then.
No. But what you're saying is this, right? That Twix is failing to give you pleasure on that 5th Twix, but this succeeds every time because it's literally pleasure. It hits the part of the brain that says this is pleasurable.
So
But
my pleasure nerve that you're talking about in my head, it lights up when I have a Twix.
I don't think it ever lights up.
Right.
I don't think you've got a pleasure nerve.
But it lights up when I have a Twix.
Right.
It lights up if there's some chicken, right? It lights up
Fuck
if
me.
there's a,
What a miserable cunt he is.
you know, all loads of things.
Chicken and Twix.
That's
No.
it. That's all he lives for.
No.
Hang yourself, mate.
So, what you're saying is, if I had that device that the rat's got, I'd just sit there, wouldn't I, hitting it, thinking, I can't be bothered going to the shop for a Twix, I'll just hit this button.
Yeah. Think of this. So aggressive is the horned frog of Argentina that people believe that if the frog bites the lip of a horse, the horse will die. Actually, the frog's mouth contains no poison. It earned its fearsome reputation because it attacks animals many times its size. What do you think of a frog
It's
attacking
ridiculous.
a horse?
I don't know what's going on. I don't know why that would happen. Why is it getting upset with a horse? of all the things for a frog to be like getting cocky with, them two should never even meet.
Why?
Because it's not. I mean, fights are normally over something, aren't they?
Yeah.
If you have a fight with someone, you're in my yard, or you know, you're fighting over something. A horse and a
The
frog.
fact that he immediately goes back to the 1930s.
Yeah.
You're in my yard.
But a horse and a frog. How did that disagreement
What are they squabbling
happen?
over?
I don't understand what they've got in common. I don't understand it. I bet that's only happened once. It's a rare incident. Someone's to put that in a book. I can't imagine it. That's happening a lot. That horses are being bit by frogs all over the shop.
Rick, I know you're a big fan of Professor Richard Dawkins, the evolutionary biologist. He wrote a book, The Ancestor's Tale, in which he predicted a post-human world. This was his kind of hypothesis, if we were well, let me read what he's written. If nuclear war destroys humanity and most of the rest of life, a good bet for survival in the short term and for evolutionary ancestry in the long term is rats. I have a post-Armageddon vision. We and all the other large animals are gone. Rodents emerge as the ultimate post-human scavengers. They gnaw their way through New York, London and Tokyo, digesting spilled larders, ghost supermarkets and human corpses, and turning them into new generations of rats and mice, whose racing populations explode out of the cities and into the countryside. When all the relics of human profligacy are eaten, populations crash again and the rodents turn on each other, and on the cockroaches scavenging with them. In a period of intense competition, short generations, perhaps with radioactivity-enhanced mutation rates, boost rapid evolution. With human ships and planes gone, islands become islands again, with local populations isolated, save for occasional lucky raftings. Ideal conditions for evolutionary divergence. Within 5 million years, a whole range of new species replace the ones we know. Herds of giant grazing rats are stalked by saber-toothed predatory rats. Given enough time, will a species of intelligent, cultivated rats emerge? Will rodent historians and scientists eventually organise careful archaeological digs and through the strata of our long compacted cities reconstruct the peculiar and temporally tragic circumstances that gave ratkind its big break?
Karl, thoughts?
I mean, who knows what's going to happen? I like learning stuff and that, so that's why I went round the museum to have a look, you know, what I could learn and stuff. I thought, oh, I'll have a look at the meteorites, that could be quite interesting, you know, see an old rock. And you go in there, and you look at a rock and you think, oh yeah, that's amazing, that's old, it's come from another planet or something, right? But then the edge is taken off it, because that isn't the only one. Do you know what I mean? Just have one big one, and that to me would be more impressive than having a room full of them. We've got the same problem with the dinosaurs. Just have one, just have the best one. I mean, look, how many do you need? You've got that one. Not surprised they went extinct. They're all in here. I just think we know too much. And when you look at the things that we can do now, you know, you can change body parts and that, can't you? I remember reading about a woman. She was about 8 years old, right? She'd had a new lung, a new heart, liver. I think she was waiting for a kidney. You just think, well, enough's enough. Do you know what I mean? If your body's that sort of done in, call it a day. If it was a car, you'd scrap it, wouldn't you? You wouldn't keep putting new bits on it. And I just think, even though it's clever and everything, we've got to get to a point where we stop doing stuff like that, because I think there's too many people in the world. But that's how we are. That's the problem with knowledge, isn't it? The more we know, the more we interfere. I do wonder that if there was a dinosaur knocking about now, I wonder if they'd save it. Even though it was going around running riot, I do wonder if they'd go, oh well, we don't want it to become extinct. It's like the panda, isn't it? Say that's dying out, but what do they do anyway? Do you know what I mean? Whenever you see them, they're just sat in the woods eating. This dead one here is probably just as active as one that's alive. So, if you want to see one, just come and see this. That's life, innit? That's what happens. things come and go, like the dodo did. That died out because it was designed badly, and then that sort of got replaced by the chicken. But at no point have I been getting stressed out that the dodo isn't knocking about anymore. Things move on. You know what I mean? Just don't interfere with nature and that. Just been in the zoo, having a look around and that. Went into the aquarium. Mental, the amount of fish that are knocking about. They keep saying like, sea levels are rising and all this, and it's because the icebergs are melting. It's not to do with the icebergs melting. It's because there's too many fish in it. Do you know what I mean? Get rid of some of the fish, the water will drop. Simple, basic science. There you go. There's a little fish. Another one, same as the last one really, just swimming about doing nothing. Pointless. The weirdest thing that I saw in there is, it's got to be this. Right, look at that. Little sloth. It's called a sloth, right? Which suggests that it's lazy, and yet we're saving them. Look at it. I mean, the zoo shuts at like 5:30, right? So animals can have a kip. So, by rights, that should be awake now. 14 quid a pay to come in here. Look, can't even be bothered opening its eyes. I don't know if it's cruel or not to sort of have them in there. You know what I mean? Look, that one's not stressed out. If you look at it, looks quite happy. So, don't know why they worry about it. It's the same the way people sort of moan about drugs being tested on animals. I sort of think, well, it depends, doesn't it? If the drug's aspirin and the monkey's got headache, is it tight? Do you know what I mean? I'm always looking on the internet, see what weird stuff's knocking about, because they're always finding new sort of, new creatures and stuff. They've found this spider in the jungle, right? 3 foot long, eats chicken. It's weird, isn't it? See, people moan saying, oh, you shouldn't lock animals up and all the rest of it, but to be honest, I wish it was locked up in there. The idea that that's roaming about in a jungle, get it locked up. And what's weird is, why have they only just found that? 3 foot long, do you know what I mean? How have they missed that? Noah made a bit of an error when, he saved everything. I would have had like a little checklist as they were all getting on. Do you know what I mean? There's someone checking them out, quizzing them. Right, what's getting on here? Right, it's a giraffe. What do they do? No, right, leave them. Next.
There are 37,000 different species of spider alone. What do you think of that?
It's a lot.
It is, isn't it?
A lot. But if there's loads of stuff out there that we don't know about, and we don't know what it's doing, is it that important? Is it worth finding them now?
Well, yeah.
Why?
Well, it may give us the key to unlock other mysteries.
A spider won't.
Well, it might do.
A spider won't be unlocking any mysteries.
Well, that's totally...
Plants are different. I reckon there's a natural cure for everything out there.
Because there's loads of animals that have toxins that are used in medicine.
Yeah, I know that we use dangerous spiders to get rid of headaches or whatever, or they do in the tribes, right?
Do
Yeah.
you want to just expand on that point?
It's just that's what they do in tribes. They've got all these tribes. They've got all natural remedies. They go, what's up with you? You got a sore ankle? Chew on this twig. And it works. I've seen it. They've sent women out there and, they couldn't believe the stuff they can do with twigs and trees and hedgehogs and stuff.
Mm. It wasn't an in-depth analysis, was it?
What I'm saying...
Women, they just sent some women out there.
No,
apparently.
Yeah.
I reckon the stuff that's got venom in it, that's useful.
Mm.
We probably know about all them. Because
it doesn't make any sense. We probably know about all of them.
What I mean is the police know about the gangsters. But they go, right, we're aware of them, right, and get on with it. We'll keep our eye on them. And it's the same in the jungle. The spiders, the deadly ones you're aware of. The ones that are just pottering about, you go, don't even worry about them, don't even give them a name. They're not doing anything.
But what if there's another poisonous spider they haven't identified yet? They're lurking in the undergrowth.
I'd be very surprised.
So you'd be very surprised.
I'd be surprised if there was
It
something...
sounds like laziness on your part.
But they're
No,
discovering
it's
new
not.
species all the time.
We know about all the dangerous stuff now, because we have to. We live in
No,
a
we
world
don't.
now. We do. We know about a lot of the dangerous stuff. Whenever they find something new now, it's like a new
look-
butterfly or...
Well, no, look at AIDS. When I was a kid, no one had ever heard of AIDS.
Yeah, but that's not a natural thing, is it? That's not like a spider or
What do you mean it's not a natural
ladybird.
thing?
It's not a natural thing. It's not something that's... AIDS hasn't been, like, living under the soil for millions of years going, I'll wait till the 1980s and I come out and kill a load of people.
No, but it is a natural
It's a new thing.
Yeah,
It's new.
Yeah, but loads of animals are new, aren't they? Evolutionary terms. There's new animals in evolution.
I'm sure there's new stuff deep down that's just like, almost like bacteria, sat under the soil, it'll never come to the top. Right? It's like having an old woman who's a neighbour. She never goes out, she doesn't bother you. Let her be.
But what if that old neighbour could unlock the secrets to...
I don't think she can.
Just even to us understanding the complexities of the universe, of the way things have developed and grown.
Because we know about it.
Well, why would we know about it? Because I never understand, why is it you want to stop researching and studying now? Why is it that you're happy to just draw a line under everything else? What if people had said this back in the 19th century?
We've done this. I think it's someone in the 1900s. We said everything that's going to be invented has been invented. And then look what happened in that century.
Yeah, and I've said to you, look at the stuff that is being invented now. The frisbee and stuff like that. It's all stuff that,
Right.
that you kind of go, it's all right, it's a good idea, but we don't need it.
Yeah, but the frisbee wasn't being worked on by the top brains of our generation. That was some novelty toy that some manufacturer made.
Yeah, but it's like, look at the fuss we made over that fella who came up with a Dyson vac. Everyone was like, he's up there with Einstein. Well, he's not. It's a good vac. It cleans up floors well and everything.
Who
but
said he's up there with Einstein?
His
one of-
PR people
In one of
did.
those programmes where they did, like, great inventions of our time, it was easy early on. You go, Einstein, Newton did this, Archimedes, Dyson. And they started to run out, because it is harder to come up with something new now. Because everything that's needed, remember, the things we've invented are things that we sort of go, we could do with that. Inventors don't sit there going, what can I make? Oh, I need a toaster. They've sat there, they've burnt the toast under the grill, and they've gone, I need some sort of device here.
Well,
that I can
somebody-
put bread in.
yeah.
And what can it do? I'll shake it like
Necessity
that,
is the
and
mother of invention.
Yeah.
However, there are people who sit around going, "Where's a loophole in the market? Where's a
Well,
the
here's
niche?"
something. About a year ago, I came up with a see-through toaster, so that you can see how much the toast is cooked.
Right.
I found it about 2 months after that. Someone had done it. So I'd just been beaten to the post.
Yeah, but all you're really doing, Carl, is modifying an existing invention.
What other examples of being pipped at the post are there? It's got to be one that hasn't been done, or it's not your theory,
but also something that unlocks a mystery.
or helps the world.
What's causing problems in the world at the moment that needs sorting?
Oh, cures for things. Faster transport. Anything to do with security. Anything to do with well-being. You know.
mean, obviously, environmental concerns are a big issue. People trying to design automobiles that
Fuel.
can run on different alternative fuels.
I met a bloke on a conference once who sent a drawing to Blue Peter. It was their design a car of the future, and he sent them a drawing that was a car, and the only innovation was that you can have a shit while driving. And then he put shit goes down pipe, which becomes fuel. They must have looked at that and gone, what a maniac.
I think that's a brilliant... I mean, I've driven a long way. I drove to Cornwall recently, and I would have loved...
But I think he did it when he was about
lavatory built into
9, and he must have thought, oh, I'm being driven to school. Oh, I need the toilet. Wouldn't it be good?
But why hasn't that been done?
What?
Well, like Steve says, I've been in the same situation when you're driving and you go, oh, where's the service station? You see a sign in 36 miles.
So what?
You're in agony.
So you suggest pull your trousers down and shit down in the seat that's a toilet?
Yeah, well, what's wrong with that?
Well, you got your nan in your back.
She's got one as well.
So you are going to Cornwall all shitting.
Well, not all the time, but it's more useful to me than a lighter.
So also, at
Where
what
do you
point
wash
do
your
you
hands?
wash your hands or
Yeah.
wipe your arse? At what point does that occur?
Oh,
At the
that's
end of the journey.
Oh, God! So you get in, you have a shit at Deptford, and you wipe your arse at Polperro.
Yeah, but like I've said to you, this isn't like just people going, oh, I think I'll have one. You need one? Not really, but it's something to do, innit? I'm sick of playing I Spy, I'm having a shit. You have it when you really need one. When you have to pull off a motorway, it's a lot of messing about. There's probably going to be a queue at the toilet. No more queues at toilets.
10 minutes, Rick, that takes, doesn't it? 10 minutes to
10
pull off,
minutes.
have a quick shit.
Driving along. It's just going on. It's just going on. Don't even know about it. Radio's on. Everyone's happy. Doesn't matter. I don't know. I mean, we all do it as well. That's the thing.
Anything else you'd come up with? I mean, so far you come up with nothing. That was a 9-year-old boy's idea.
I mean, the Breville maker wasn't needed.
That's true.
What's the Breville maker?
Like toasted sandwiches. There's so many things. Chocolate fountains. Anything like that. I just go, what are these? Who's invented these? Who's okayed this idea? And yet I can't have a shit on the motorway.
Think of computers.
What about them?
Well, I mean, that's in the last few years. You know, 100 years in our existence. Okay, they've been dabbling with anything even close to a computer. Nothing before that.
Yeah, computers are a good thing, and it baffles me as to how they came about. When you think a computer chip is just made out of sand. Now, for someone to come up with that, you go, there must have been some sort of alien involved here.
What do you mean? Why do you think that? So I love it. So the frisbee, rubbish. Anything too clever? Well, it wasn't an invention, it was an alien. So there's nothing between frisbee and computer chip.
What I'm saying is, it's not even an idea, is it?
What do you mean?
A computer chip, where's that come from?
Oh, it's amazing.
Well,
it's astounding, yeah.
So you think it was an alien? What are you talking about?
Great.
Because I can't believe that someone would go, right, I want to make something that will hold information and be able to do... I know, let's use some sand, we've got loads of that. You'd go, what, you don't...
Well, that's what genius is, though,
But
isn't
Carl,
it?
there's no alien involved.
No, but when I say alien, I don't mean an alien came down here and said, you know, oh, do you want to buy this? There could have been
Yeah.
a spaceship crash, right?
Right, yeah.
And there's all them rumours, isn't there, in that hangar. They've got the spaceship, they take it apart, they go, yeah, wheels, we've got them, yeah, steering wheel. Yeah. And then they go, hang on, what's this here? And they find the chips, and they break it down, and they find
Carl,
it's sand.
but that as an explanation to human genius is nearly as ridiculous as the Adam and Eve explaining life on Earth. How could you tell that to someone without going red? I mean, I always worry about that, where people who believe in Adam and Eve, don't they wish there was a slightly better explanation? With all the evidence we've got, do you know what I mean? With all the evidence for evolution, that they think the Earth is 5,000 years old, and God made Adam out of some dust, and then he went, oh, I need a bird. It's alright, I'll make it out of your rib.
Yeah,
right?
but there's loads of things that you go, oh, this is a bit embarrassing. I bet Charles Darwin, when he said we've all come from apes, I bet he sat at home going... Should I tell him about the frisbee first?
But the fact that sand makes computer chips is not the interesting thing. The interesting thing is how the human being discovered that... what am I talking about? Sand makes computer chips. That silicon can have information put on it. But we're made out of oxygen, nitrogen, carbon... Do you know what I mean? And hydrogen.
But that's nature. You see, nature is amazing. You can't beat nature. Right?
No.
He comes up with some amazing things.
Yeah, but man is nature. Don't forget that we're an animal. We're a brilliant ape. Now, it's clear to any sensible, reasonable, educated person that we did evolve from apes, or rather, we had a common ancestry, and that we're closest to the chimpanzee. We're actually 98.6% genetically identical to a chimpanzee, Carl. We're closer to a chimp than a chimp is to a gorilla. Genetically speaking.
I just find that hard to believe when you
Well,
look
I'm
at
telling you it's true. So what are you finding hard to believe?
Well, your eyes... your own eyes are what sort of comes up with a lot of thoughts.
No. One's eyes don't come up with thoughts.
No,
Two,
but what I'm saying is...
what you mean is
through your own eyes,
you look at things
you
and make up your own decisions.
So if there was no Darwin or anything,
Yeah.
and I was sat somewhere, and someone said, right, we're going to bring a few animals in, one of them's related.
Right. They're all related.
Alright, but they're all related to you, but one's not so long ago, right? And they brought them in, and they lined them up, and there was a chimp stood there,
Yeah.
and a gorilla,
Mm.
and what's another one?
Orangutan.
Orangutan. Right, yeah. Right, a girl, the orangutan, send that out. I'll be first to go. So he's definitely not linked to me.
See, I disagree, but there we go. That's just looking at you.
Yeah.
So the hair colouring, there's none of that in our family.
Well, there's no hair.
Go.
I like the fact that it loses out because it's ginger.
So that's gone. Right, so I'm left with a gorilla and a chimp.
Yeah.
I would go for the gorilla.
Well, it's a
The
good guess,
humanness.
but you'd be wrong. So we are much closer to the chimpanzee, okay? 98.6% genetically identical. Think of that. We only differ on 1.4% of our genetic makeup.
That must be the arse. Because that's a lot different.